Welcome to The Explainer. Imagine you're just driving home, right? Cruising along, totally normal day, and bam, those flashing red and blue lights suddenly light up your rearview mirror. Your stomach drops, your palms get a little clammy. Look, it's a completely universal reaction. But today, we're going to swap out that panic for absolute clarity. We're hopping right into the driver's seat to equip you with the exact scripts and legal strategies you need for two of the most common but honestly trickiest traffic stop scenarios. So what exactly do you say when those lights flash? Think about the sheer stress of that immediate pullover. Most drivers just completely panic, and in that panic, they just start talking. They over-explain, they try to guess why they were stopped, and often they accidentally surrender their legal rights right there on the shoulder of the road. Having a rock-solid prepared script, knowing your exact lines before that window even rolls down, is literally the ultimate way to protect yourself. Let's dive straight into scenario 11, the minor infraction stop. We're going to look at how to handle those low-stakes stops. For minor issues, like the incredibly common California stop, where you kind of slow down but don't quite stop completely, or maybe creeping just a few miles an hour over the speed limit. Your physical actions actually set the stage before you even utter a single word. You need to execute the standard pullover protocol. Hit that turn signal immediately, pull over safely, kill the engine, and plant your hands right on the steering wheel, where they're totally visible. This establishes a safe, non-threatening baseline from the exact second your tires stop moving. Your main goal here? Be cooperative and friendly. Why? Because minor infraction stops are highly likely to result in a simple verbal warning if you project a calm, responsible vibe from the get-go. And here is your golden script. When the officer strolls up and tells you that you rolled through that stop sign, I want you to commit this exact phrase to memory. I understand, officer. I'll be more attentive at intersections going forward. Seriously, memorize it, practice it. This isn't just you being polite. It's a carefully constructed legal shield. The legal reasoning behind this is actually fascinating. We're comparing a nervous admission of guilt against a legally neutral alternative. If you blurt out, "I know I ran that stop sign, I'm so sorry," well, you have just provided a spontaneous verbal admission of guilt. The officer's dash cam heard it, the body cam recorded it, and boom, the case is practically closed. But our alternative? It acknowledges the officer's concern, it expresses future compliance, but crucially, and this is the absolute kicker, it makes zero admission about what you specifically did at that intersection. So the crucial point here is mastering what we call a legally neutral acknowledgement. You are acknowledging their concern and expressing future compliance, all without admitting to any specific past actions. You're being respectful, but legally safe. The underlying chain of thought is that by saying nothing incriminating, you resolve the immediate stop super quickly, but you preserve your legal right to contest the citation or maybe attend traffic school later. You haven't handed the prosecution a recorded confession on a silver platter. You've simply agreed that being a safe driver is a good idea. Okay, so we've secured your strategy for a solo minor infraction. But that dynamic becomes a whole lot trickier legally when we introduce other people into the mix. What if you aren't alone in the vehicle? Which brings us to scenario 12, questions about your passengers. Let's talk about balancing those legal rights. Things escalate in complexity really fast when an officer looks past you, the driver, and starts asking who your passengers are, what your relationship is to them, how old they are, or demands their ID. It creates this immediate tension because suddenly you're doing a tightrope walk between your own legal obligations and their constitutional rights. If the officer asks for your passenger's ID or asks probing questions about them, this is the critical response you need. I believe that's a question for my passenger to answer directly. Now, obviously, you can provide a basic one-word context like, "Oh, my passenger is my spouse," or "my coworker." But the exact second the questions dig any deeper, you use this quote to appropriately shift the burden of identification right back where it belongs. There is a massive difference between guessing a passenger's background versus deferring the question to them. As a driver, you should literally never speculate about a passenger's identity, their background, or what they're up to. Think about it. If you guess wrong or if you accidentally provide conflicting information, you risk inadvertently entangling yourself legally. You could create reasonable suspicion out of thin air. Deferring the question is honestly the only legally sound move. And the underlying constitutional rationale, the chain of thought here, is absolutely vital to grasp. Passengers in your vehicle have their own distinct rights. They hold their own Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures, and their own Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. As the driver, you have absolutely zero legal obligation to speak on their behalf or waive those rights for them. It's also super important to remind anyone riding with you that passengers only need to speak if directly addressed by the officer. If you're out driving with friends or family, they should know ahead of time to just remain calm, keep their hands visible, and let you, the driver, handle the primary interaction. Unless the officer explicitly turns to them and requests identification, they should just sit tight, relax, and let you steer the conversation. Which brings us to a crucial final question. Are you ready to use roadside silence and precise phrasing as your greatest constitutional tools? We've explored two very common everyday scenarios, the minor rolling stop and the tricky passenger inquiry. In both cases, the overarching lesson is totally clear. Your demeanor, your hyperspecific word choice, and your understanding of where your rights begin and end are your ultimate protections. Being prepared doesn't make you adversarial, it just makes you an informed citizen. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember, the preparation you do today is the protection you have tomorrow. Stay safe and stay aware.